have, kind of little bit created a small PPT for your reference, and it's like a bit interesting for you also to understand the role of legal counsel. Spasha, can I ask you to move to slide 2? Now, I'm going to throw you some light on the types of organization out in the market where you can join as a legal counsel. So there is insurance, there is banking, there is IT as a service provider like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, etc. They are the IT companies as a service provider, as well as they have their own products. And there is product-based company, there is medical organization, FMGC, solicitors. So, yeah, thanks. So as I was discussing the role of a legal counsel, I have highlighted few points. That is, first, to understand the scope of transaction, choose your template or understand the template received from the customer's end, carefully run through the terms and conditions, and look for boilerplate clauses. Now, when I say boilerplate clauses is, now, since we all know, we have a limited, when you pass out of the college, you only know about the Contract Act. Okay, but what basically lies in the contract? What are the clauses that you will get to know once you get into a organization? So clauses like limitation of liability, termination, the time period, and IP clause are all your boilerplate clauses. So you have to focus on that. Okay, what is in the interest of your company? And then comes is the business team. You, legal counsel, have to interact with your business to understand the nature of the transaction and accordingly try to, kind of modulate your template or modulate customer template in the interest of your company. And then you have to prepare your negotiation points and a backup. Backup, when I say a backup, is if suppose clause A doesn't work out, you have to be ready with clause B. So that is how your negotiation skill is going to improve. And now now there is another part of legal counsel, very interesting one. Most of you would like to travel abroad, meet new clients, be at client's place. It's a whole different experience, you get that exposure. You really start understanding the nature of your job. So moving on to next slide, slide 5. That is client interaction. This is the most interesting and beautiful part of legal counsel. When you approach your client will not only access your not only look into your knowledge, but also the way you conduct, the way your mannerism, everything is being noticed. Okay, the way you're prepared is also one of the important tasks that is to be considered while having client interaction. So, being a legal counsel is not only restricted to your legal knowledge. You should also have, personality development, like the way you speak, the way you conduct, the way your confidence should reflect while you're speaking, and your homework that you do with your contract. You should understand what are the laws stated. You should also try to dig deep into that, the laws applicable to your contract and be prepared, because while you speak, you are the face of the organization. So the important role is played by you. So that is the most beautiful part. And once you, kind of nail it, you start absorbing things, then there is no looking back. So this is the most important part of legal counsel, that is client interaction. You are not only restricted to your legal part, your sales skill also, is considered. How you are able to convince your customer, or how you are able to convince your client to agree to your clauses, to agree to those conditions which are in favor both to your client as well as your company interest. Okay. So moving on to next slide, that is time. Time is the essence of contract. Now, when I say time is an essence of the contract, it means that what is your preparation level? Okay, what is the time you're going to take to close this deal? Okay. Customer will be annoyed if your justification for the clauses removal or insertion of clauses is not justified. Okay, so that is the reason we have to do more due diligence. We have to see what is the risk factor, what is the penalty that a company can absorb, while taking up this contract. Are all these factors that is taken into consideration. So you are playing a very important role here. So when you are signing a contract, it means you're binding your company to comply those terms and conditions. Okay. So next is plan your negotiations with due diligence, risk of value you're ready to take. Ensure your contract is drafted in such a way that there is door for exit. Now, when I say term and termination of a contract, now I'm not sure how many of you have gone through a contract, whether it is, it might be a staff augmentation kind of a contract or any service provider contract. So you may see some certain clauses, limitation of liability and direct, indirect losses. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. Why? Because you're binding yourself. Any non-compliance to the terms and conditions, then the customer might impose penalties on you. You might be seeing so many IT companies facing trials, judicial trials, misappropriation of IPR. So it's a very sensitive, which is very sensitive in nature, and almost like companies are getting penalties in millions of dollars. So one wrong decision from your end, one wrong understanding of interpretation of those clauses might create havoc in your contract. So that is the reason I'm more emphasizing that you have to understand the terms and conditions, what the customer is imposing on you. Then your timely closure, will, the way you interact with the client, the way you negotiate, the way you bring for closure, and if there is, a very small time taken for closing deals with the interest in the customer as well as your company, I feel that would be the best a platform for your organization to expand its horizons, and the business team also will get confidence in you. Okay, our legal team is there to support us. So this way, there is a connection between the legal and the business team where we are joining hands together and giving company a leverage to expand its horizons. I guess I have spoken a lot about contracts, but I would like to understand from the students who have joined here, do they have any questionnaires relating to contracts? I guess then I will be in a position to understand what is the level of understanding.
May I, if you don't mind? So just would like to know, since this pandemic has been there for almost a year and a half now, and most of the students would be in a dilemma, what's going to happen with their future, right? And this is something they need to be doing a prep work. They need to be well versed with with the future, what's going to come down, right? And what do you suggest on that aspect of things, how to be confident and how to get to an interview? That's point number one. Point number two is, if you could just specify any case studies where you've come across since you've traveled many countries, right? And you might have met a lot of clients and you might have faced a lot of, issues or queries or whatever you call it, where they want to have a justification on a particular interpretation points, right? That's the second one. And the last one is, you mentioned that time is an essence of contract. I totally believe with that. But timely closure depends on a respective vendor. I mean, it might close in 2 days, it might close in a week. So what do you say? Like, if you can just give an practical example of any IT companies where you come across all these points and how you can tackle with that, I guess that would be beneficial for all the students here. I'm not a student, I'm so sorry, but would love to hear your insights. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So, in this pandemic, if you see, the IT companies are really doing well. Now, the question is how? We have expand our horizon, like we are performing through cloud-based platforms. This banking during this pandemic is running successfully. People are able to do online transactions. Zomato, Swiggy is doing so well. Why? Because of the payment gateway. People are ready to sit at home and order their pantry, order their food. Why? Because there is so many gateways that has channelized people to transact. They need not go to bank or anything. They just need to sit at their place and just open the app. So this is what has transformed people switching from their regular traditional way they approach to a digitization world. So how this is how companies are doing so well even in the phase of pandemic.
Good
Aditya.
evening. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I have one simple doubt, but I'm not much well know about this legal counsel. So, what is the difference between lawyer and a legal counsel?
Simple words to say in a layman words to say a legal person, a lawyer, you might see with a black coat going to court and kind of negotiating
Yes, ma'am.
on the plane, right? So we are doing the similar job but sitting inside the office. Okay, here we are with the contracts and contracts. That's it. There is no litigation file, and I'll tell you, even companies do have litigation where there is a team, litigation and non-litigation. Okay, so any matter that has to go to the court, we have a separate division who will handle that. Who is running to the court and doing things. Any part which is non-litigation, which can be, kind of simplified over the call, that can be handled by, counsel like us. So we kind of provide remedy to them over the call and sort out, negotiations.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. No doubt. Like, what is the functions actually for legal counsel in a business? Yeah, like,
Yeah, as I for an example, okay, imagine you are a software company or a simple company, resource company, okay, you have a pool of talent, okay, you have a person who is graduated with a MBA or who's done LLB or who has done some software engineering kind of a thing, okay, you are a service provider. Suppose a company comes to you, okay, saying that Aditya, please provide me some three, capable HRs or three capable lawyers, whom who have certain experience. Then what you do, Aditya, is you say, yes, I do have three people, three, resource with me, but let us get on to the terms and conditions. So you sign a document, okay? So the person coming to you is the customer, and you are the service provider. So you will lay your terms and conditions that once three resource is kind of recruited from your firm is entitled for receiving a commission. Okay, you will put your commission. You will say by this and this date you have to pay my commission. By this and this date you are not supposed to kind of terminate those employees. Whatever conditions you want to put, but that should be, there is a format for everything. Like, rent agreements have their format. For staff augmentation, there is a format. So that way you have to impose or you have to modulate that particular agreement and, get it signed, right, with the customer. So this way there is a transaction. This way there is a contract, okay, where you are providing services and you are receiving the money. Right?
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
First is one has to identify what is their interest. Okay, as I gave you the whole lot of options in the industry, what we are having currently, that is insurance, banking. So you have to choose an option. If you want to stick to legal profile as a legal counsel, you have to prepare, you have to read, okay, some insurance related contracts or service provider related contracts. That way you need to prep up that and then establish a good profile, okay, good resume, good connect. Like we have platforms like LinkedIn, we have platforms like Naukri and Monster and whatnot. Okay, try to build connection, try to understand what is the nature of the job. You know, you get this job description, so you will understand what is the requirement from the company, what they are looking into it. So you try, uh,
Yes,
simultaneously to work on that part. Try to improve your personality. The way you speak also matters a lot. So this way
yes,
you have to prep up yourself. If you at least go for 10, 15, even if rejection is always there, but then you will understand
yes,
how to, kind of modulate your personality, build that personality accordingly, which suits the requirement that way.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I had a question. Will
Yes.
CS help us out in legal counseling?
Yeah, to some extent, yes, company secretary, but then it's a completely different profile, you know. The role of a company secretary is different from that of a legal counsel. Sometimes people, like me, I have chosen HR as a combination with LLB. So company secretary also helps you to understand the company compliance with related to the code practices by the company, and you will get a choice. Like every organization have a different portfolio. So something what courses you have chosen along with the law uh, that will suit. If there is that particular position there in that company, then you can always switch to that role. So that way. Now, there's legal counsel, there is a separate, designation for compliance. That is a different team, though it's, similar to law, but then the team is different. And now there is a different, the new upcoming and very promising position is data protection officer. I understand that. I'm not sure whether you students are aware of the new progress that is coming into this picture. But data protection officer is something will come shortly in the market where there is a huge demand. Currently, Europe and other countries are having this practices in company, that is data protection law. And very soon, even in India, we are going to have this data protection law, our own data protection law.
Again, I have one question. You are working in TCS, and it's a very reputed firm. And uh, can you tell us how to get into such big firms and all?
Yeah, as I told you, there are these platforms like LinkedIn and all that. You always get requirements from the companies. They are always posted, and the companies have their own website also, internal website where they keep posting for the requirements. So you can always kind of have a tab on those
Okay, ma'am.
requirements. That way you can approach.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
What is more suggested, corporate or litigation?
Ah, this is, I'll tell you, more interesting. It depends upon the personality of a person. Okay. Some like, they don't like desktop job. Now, legal counsel in some companies is more restricted to, reviewing of contracts, and traveling may be there or may not be there. It depends upon the geography. So if a person is like more towards like want to go good exposure, practical exposure, on ground exposure, for them litigation always suits. They might be kind of doing monotonous job of reviewing and reviewing also. people get tired and frustrated. And there are many people who have, kind of switched from legal counsel to a proper litigation because they found, kind of find it more interesting and more challenging. There's no monotonous job in, litigation. But legal counsel is that it is kind of a routine, monotonous job, but then, you're getting paid well. Its payment is on time. So I feel like, women like me or people who choose to, kind of do office kind of a job, then, legal counsel position is perfect, where you sit and earn. And you have to talk also. It's not easy job what I have chosen. There's a lot to talk and negotiate also. So it depends upon the interest of a person.
How legal department is structured within the company? How is the legal department structured?
Legal department, as I told you now, it's, kind of diversified, though there's a compliance team, which is also a legal, but it is called as compliance team. There is DPA related, kind of litigation or queries or any clause negotiation goes to that particular team. So it's very diversified. And in the coming years, you never know. See, like a few years back, there was no technology for review of draft. Okay. And now there are not many platforms in market where automatic, through your system, you are able to review the draft. You need not even have a legal counsel in place. So that is the development. Each year is a challenging for innovation, technology coming to our end, and you have to start adopting that. So today I might be reviewing the documents. Tomorrow might be a different scenario where software will do my job. Okay, I might get some more, more interesting job than that. So that way one has to skill their grades and, be equipped with what is going on with the current scenario.
Priya madam, can you give few suggestions for our students to be mentally as well as ready for corporate world or jobs in future? Because they really miss our regular classes nowadays because of the pandemic, and they may miss theoretical classes, even the practical exposure in the college. So what is your suggestion in this juncture?
So I would like to tell all the students here, we are in a better place today. Though there is pandemic around, but still we have technology which help us to connect. So always keep your eyes and ears open. Look out for new challenging jobs. Look out what are the opportunities. Read anything, any magazine, paper, just brush up your knowledge. Be equipped with the latest technologies going on, the latest demand in market. So we have so many platforms. I understand that platforms, when you say, you guys are more into Netflix, Hotstar, we waste our time. But I'm saying there are other more platforms like LinkedIn and other social networking sites where there are a lot of free, sessions for students, sessions conducted relating to your job profile, what you want to choose. So attend those sessions, whatever. I think I understand there are some, sessions which are, whooping, charging more amount. There are also, in the meantime, free sessions, conducted by legal departments, different legal organizations to enhance, the connectivity and also establish a connection, within the legal fraternity. So this way, try to utilize those platforms. Read is one more thing that I always emphasize on, is collect knowledge, whatever source it is, whether it is through your internet or whatever material, study material. Keep doing any courses which will enhance your, personality or whatever you choose in your profession. So keep in touch with your teachers, keep interacting, and these the platform what SDM has created is now amazing. Even we didn't have at our time, where we had a platform to express, to take guidance. Now this is the best platform the SDM is offering to you students, that you interact with different people, collect all the information and try to utilize it in a best possible way.
Ma'am, could I know more about legal counseling in medical organization?
Medical organization now again, it's also a diversified, some medicals are completely into research and development, and some are into a different sector. Again, once you enter into an organization, you will get to know what is your job role as a legal counsel over there. Okay, there might be vendor procurement, procurement of any installation of equipment to your organization. So vendor related contracts will be more, and there will be exposure to insurance. Insurance also is something that you need to absorb that way. So it's a big horizon, it depends upon, again, organization to organization. It's like nothing, they don't work in the same manner. Every organization has a different need. So categorically, you need to choose and proceed.
We have one more question in the chat box. What are the obstacles to become a legal counsel? And I'd also like to add, what are the competitions we have to becoming a legal counsel, and how is the career to be taken there?
Now we are living in a very uncertain time. Today, as I told you, there might be a demand for legal counsel. Tomorrow, there may not be a demand for legal counsel. Why? Because there might be a technology in place who is doing your job. Okay? So one has to always, kind of keep. Now, if suppose I am a legal counsel now, my role doesn't end here. I have to keep looking for the additional role, like as I told you now, data protection officer, like data privacy law, is something that will come into, will come in next few years in India with a full established, role, the rules and regulation, or you can say the act will be coming soon to India. So I want to, kind of explore that particular, region as a data protection officer. Then tomorrow there might be some other challenges. So our journey doesn't end once we, land up with a job. There are so many challenges, so many exposures created. So we need to keep studying. We need to keep exploring till, you reach a point where you feel, okay, I'm done enough. Now I'll sit at home.
Okay, ma'am. We have one more query. Any additional course is it necessary to be done and to become a legal counselor?
No course is important. You're the only if you're doing a full-time course, LLB from a proper university, recognized university. Along with that, if you're having an LLM, plus nowadays students do a lot of internship, and I'm sure even SDM is supporting students to have internship from various organizations. So all this skill will help you to land up a good job. The only thing is, there are a lot of courses out in market. So one has to keep choosing the appropriate course, which will help you to qualify or land up to a good job.
Is practicing in litigation at least for 1 or 2 years necessary before applying for a company, or a fresher can also apply to become a legal counselor?
Now this is again very subjective to now colleges like National Nassara or other law universities which are recognized or certified universities. These big companies, they go for placement. Okay, they hire these students, LLM students. So they don't hold any experience and all, but they are kind of recruited from there and they land an easy job. But other students like us, who may or may not get a chance of campus recruitment, then one has to definitely get into a litigation, understand, try to get some internship also from some company if possible. That will help us to land into a good job or legal counsel job for sure. And I see that the opportunity is very limited here in Bangalore. But if you try metro cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, and all, you will get opportunities for sure.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience in your particular field and various aspects relating to it and resolving all of our queries. It surely was a very informative session and will help our students in their career path. May I now call upon Miss Devika to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. These are not my words, but that are of Alice Walker. Time has come to express gratitude to everyone who has graced us with their presence in this session. Firstly, I would like to thank our resource person for the day, Ms. Priyadarshini Kumar, for sharing her insights and experiences on the role of a legal counsel. It was indeed a very informative session. Further, I would like to thank the principal of SDM Law College, Dr. Tarnath sir, for his immense support throughout. I thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to our pillar of strength, Dr. Santosh Prabhu sir, faculty convener of Training and Placement Cell. I thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I would like to thank everyone who attended this session. Thank you all. Over to you, Deeksha.